Yo, what is up guys? My name is D'Angelo and I'm going to give you guys my first impressions slash review on this Apco Force 2. It's a DGAC certified wing. It's not EN rated, and I think that's typically more of a characteristic for like free flight wings, more classic style wings. But this right here is a reflex wing, full reflex, and it does not have that typical shark nose profile that you're probably used to. Apco actually states that they found the shark nose profile to be actually counterintuitive, I guess, to maybe their particular designs, but that is why these cell openings on this wing is like a lot larger than your typical like shark nose profile wing. So I had quite a few GoPro malfunctions and stuff, so I've already got a few flights on it, and this is more of a little bit more of a short review since I've had a few flights, more than just the first impressions. But I'm gonna fly it, tell you what I think, and yeah. Before we get into the in-flight footage, I wanted to take some time to talk about some of the key features this wing has to offer. Now, some of these features are easier to talk about when the wing's on the ground, so you can get a kind of a close-up look at some of these points here. So the first thing I want to start off with is the double siliconized cloth. What that is a coating that Apco puts on their wings, and it's used in locations that are more prone to porosity deterioration, whereas the rest of the canopy, lighter materials are used where porosity is not a critical factor. So you can actually tell once you touch the wing, it's got this rubbery texture feel on the front side of the wing, and the back trailing edge is actually just like a normal wing material. Next, what we have is the embedded hook-in points. Now, as we take a look over here, you can see the lines appear to seamlessly go into the wing, whereas pretty much every other wing I know of has tape knots. So you'll have these little pieces of tape that actually stick out and the line will go in them. Whereas here you can see the lines will go directly into the wing seamlessly, and then your lines will actually hook in to those lines. The reason they do this is to reduce drag over the multitude of lines, because the traditional hook and points that are bulky tape loops with knots create a turbulent layer under the wing surface, and therefore it increases drag. The next thing we have is the high intake valves. Across the cell openings of the wing on the leading edge, there are these valves that are open, and essentially what they're there for is to improve wing stability and performance at high speeds, and then the valves open when the internal pressure drops. Now, when there's a high angle of attack, the valves are closed. When there's a low angle of attack, they open. Alright, so now we have the paramotor brake handles. These are really nice. I really like the feel of these. They have this triangular shape here, and it's got like a foam padding on the sides there, and then on the bottom they have a stiff rod. Now the whole point of this is to keep it from going into your cage. That's why it's got this triangular kind of stiff shape to it. But the cool thing is that it's got this rod that you can remove, so it can be just soft handles, or you could just make it hard and rigid by leaving it in there. Now the next thing is the neodymium magnets. These are really good. They work very well. I have no complaints there. The next thing we have is a stall recovery system, aka SRS, and it's just a tool that aids in automatic wing recovery in the case of a stall. As you can see, there's this ring on the riser, and it allows the riser to kind of move and find the center of pressure. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail on how this works because it is a little complicated, so I will leave the link in the description for the Force 2, and there you can see all the key features and go in depth on each of these points that I talk about. But aside from stall recovery, it's also a tool that's used to help aid in inflations. So that's also pretty neat. Now that we have that out of the way, let's move on to the in-flight footage.
The manual always says on this wing, the manual says for this wing to take off trim 0, so we're all the way trimmed in.
Let's try it out. Okay, so why did I choose a Force 2? Well,
I chose the Force 2 for a variety of reasons. The first reason being I was looking to upgrade from my current wing at the time, which I still have and I like it. But so the first wing I had is a BGD Epic, and it's a great beginner wing. It's an EMD rated, but it's kind of similar to the Mojo in the fact that it has a 3-riser system, and it's pretty easy. It's an easy wing. So I love the BGD Epic, but it kind of flies like the Mojo, and it was a really slow wing, but as for a beginner, it's a great wing, and I absolutely love it. I'll talk about it more when I make a review on it, but for now, we'll just talk about the Force 2. But that is the wing I'm coming from, and I just needed something that was good for intermediates, or a good intermediate wing. And if you look at the wing chart that I'll post right now, it certainly seems to do that. The only other wing they have more advanced than this would be, aside from their slalom wings, would be the F1. And what I've seen people say that it flies more like a Hadron XX, but I'm not really ready for that, obviously. So I've been flying this. So the other few reasons I've got this wing was because Ben Muir, Freedom Paramotors, he's the one that instructed me. He's local to me, became an importer for Apco, so I thought I'd support the local guy and kind of buy from him from Apco. So when he told me that he was selling Apco products, I checked out the website, and just kind of saw what kind of wings they had, so went from there. The other reason was my dad, who used to fly powered parachutes, had an Apco wing. That was back in early 2000s, like 2001, 2002. It was almost sentimental for me to kind of get the Apco wing, right? Aside from that, I also read quite a bit of stuff on the website, and the information on the wing, and a lot of reviews. I saw a lot of reviews, written reviews, and they were all very good, talking about how this wing's a very good all-around wing. So that kind of interested me a little bit. The other reason being, I like to be different. I feel like a lot of the people, especially on YouTube, fly Ozone wings, and not that there's anything wrong with it. I know Ozone makes some great wings, and there's not me bashing them at all, but I didn't want to get something that everybody else has. Ozone has different color patterns for their wings and even custom colors and all that, but the problem is that they have like the same design for all their wings. So not many people that I know fly Apco wings, so I just wanted to get something different. I just don't want to get an Ozone wing just because everybody else has one, if that makes sense. I like being different, but I've been very impressed with this one, I gotta say. I love the 2D steering that comes with it, very precision controls. If you want to go into a turn pretty quick, kind of take a sporty turn, it can do it. There's no problem at all. Look at that sunset, it's gorgeous. But let's talk about some of the features on this wing. Something that you notice with this riser especially is that there's kind of a lot of stuff going on. So it's got its tip steering, it's conventional tip steering, but it also has 2D steering tied. So the tip steering actually runs through this line here. It gets pulled here. I'm supposed to do some trim. So you can see it's pulling as I go. Actually, I didn't have this button down. It's got a little button snap here. But as you pull trim, it actually pulls tip steering. So that's pretty cool. What that's meant for is that it's the ABS. ABS is meant to, it's called the automatic balance system. What it's meant for is when you're doing like cross countries, or you go, or when you trim out, it pulls a little bit of both tip steering, and it allows you to balance the wing more efficiently rather than and kind of prevents you from oscillating. So it's just more stability. That's all it's really there for. And that's great for a cross country. When I was on my Epic, beginner wings tend to oscillate more, and it was just a headache to be trimmed out and have to still make corrections on the wing because it was just oscillating the whole damn time, and it just sucked for cross country, to be quite honest with you. It just wasn't very fun. And I felt like I had to hold brake on one side the entire time I'm trying to get to a destination. So that's just kind of how that went. And I really appreciate technology that goes into a wing like this. the one action acceleration, a lot of fun, I gotta say. You probably don't really understand why you think it's so nice to have, but essentially, you can see these little Brummel hooks here. What they're meant for is when you have one hooked, and you have your, if I'm not mistaken, I think you have to be at trim neutral and your speed bar's hooked up. When you pull speed bar, it's essentially pulling trim at the same time. So you kind of get the full speed efficiency. And it's pretty nice, man. I gotta say, it's pretty nice. Let's see if we can pull some speed bar here. Maybe you can see some action here. I don't have good wind to kind of give you a test. You can see the Brummel hooks would essentially keep it from moving upwards. This would kind of keep it down. And so when you're actually pulling, you pull the speed bar, it's actually pulling this whole trimmer system up. And you get a really good, efficient kind of one action of just you pull the speed bar, pulls trims, and then if you don't want to anymore, you just go back, pull it back, and you can see how it just goes back to normal. And it's just, I think that's so genius, and it's cool. I don't know how many other wings actually have this. I haven't done a lot of research on, you know, which wings have these technologies, but that to me is awesome. Like, I love that idea, and it's great for buzzing around your friends and just kind of bullying them a little bit. So it is quite a bit of fun, actually. So you don't have to keep messing with your trims, going up, pulling in, going up, pulling in. You can just, so now if you don't want this to happen, you just hook this in, and now you can just trim out as normal and use speed bar as normal. And what's cool is you can do it up here in the sky. It's not like you have to be on the ground to do it, so you can make that change whenever. Very cool. The brakes, no complaints here. They're neodymium magnets, and they snap right on, come right off. But you get the point. It's nice, and yeah, you know, this wing's great. Very agile. It doesn't have to be agile, as you can see. I'm just cruising along here. If you don't want to take those deep turns, go nice wide arm. Just pull your brake. Nice controlled turn here. Nice flat. Nice and flat. But you know, if you want to do a little more bank to it, just pull inwards. You can see how I kind of bank a little bit more. It's very cool. Love it. The only complaints I really do have with this wing is, I mean, I guess the riser kind of seems like a lot. It's kind of jumbled up. A lot of stuff going on. And other than that, the brake lines, as you can see here, are a little long. You kind of, it's not till like right here till it actually starts to do something. So I need to tie this in inward a little bit. But as you can see, it's just kind of, it's a little too long, so I'm not really getting the most efficient flare I can out of this wing. Which is fine, you can just tie it down, but that's how it came out of factory. And I've been a little lazy, I guess, and I haven't taken the time to do it. I just want to make sure I tie the correct knot. I don't want to come in loose while I'm flying. So I'm not a Boy Scout or anything, but I need to learn how to tie a good knot on a brake hand, on something that, you know, I'm flying. So we're pretty high up here. I guess I could do some acro. The sun is setting. I got a strobe. There's no problem here. But, you know, now you can see, you know, how this wing does. I'll make sure nobody's underneath me because I know there's some students flying. So let's just do a quick 360. They should be under me because I've been climbing this whole time. Oh yeah, and inflations on this wing. They're very, very nice. I haven't had really any failed launches. I've had some aborts, but not because of the wing's fault or anything. And just kind of personal fault there. So let's see if we can do some acro here. I'll climb a little bit and kind of come down. Alright, here we go. Let's do some acro here, boys. We'll do some wing overs, something slight. Just a little bit of brake pull. Ha! It gets a lot of G's, builds up a lot of G's. This thing is a lot of fun. But yeah, you can see this thing gets down, buddy. It is a lot of fun to fly. And this wing actually gave me a lot of confidence because it doesn't feel like I feel pretty confident with this wing, like nothing's gonna go wrong. Obviously it's a reflex and it's a smaller wing, so it's heavier loaded. It's a 22.5 meter, but oh, I just hit some bumpiness. Uh-oh, bumpy. Let's bring it in for a landing, shall we? But anyway, as I come down this nasty little bumpy weather,
overall, I'm very impressed with this wing. I think this is a great all-around wing, good for everything. Cross country, you know, you want to play around, just kind of take it out. It's just good to do anything. If you're gonna do a spontaneous cross country, or you just want to go out and go up and play a little bit, you know, it can do anything you want it to do. So it's got really great launch characteristics. It's easy to launch. It just comes up in nil wind, no problem. Not only that, but it also has a great flare for landing. You can really control it. You can really kind of bring it out and kind of foot drag your landing if you want to, you know what I mean? So it is a very stable wing, but it also has the ability to carve powerful turns, and it can develop big wing overs easily. I really like the 2D steering. It's got great 2D steering. I feel like I can kind of place the wing anywhere I want, you know, with no hesitation. I kind of can just place it anywhere I want and make little small corrections, unlike you would something that didn't have 2D steering. So it's very effective and I love it. It can build energy quickly, or if you wanted to, it can take flat, well-rounded, predictable turns. So it's not like this wing is only agile. You can kind of do anything you really want with it, and that's what's great about it. Is if you want it to get down, it'll get down. If you want to take a calm flight and kind of just take it easy, then it'll do that as well. Lastly, I'd say it has a good speed range. I mean, there's never a time where I felt like the speed wasn't useful by any means. It's definitely faster than a beginner wing. The one action acceleration is so much fun to use. It's more fun than you'd think, because you'd think that just by using speed bar and kind of pulling trims at the same time, it wouldn't really do anything, you know what I mean? Like why would you do that? But as far as like an everyday flight, especially if you're flying with friends, it's a lot of fun to kind of just bully them and kind of catch up to them and swing back around them, so you can pull speed bar and know that you're getting the most effective kind of almost like accelerating the gas pedal, but you want to let off a little bit to kind of slow down. But again, you can just pick speed back up, swing around them, and kind of just fly next to them and then fly away from them. So it's a lot of fun to do that, and something I didn't see coming with the one action acceleration, but I really do enjoy it, and it would be something I'd miss if I went to another wing and it didn't have it. So I really do enjoy that feature, and I'm glad it has it. That's pretty much it though, man. If I had to rate this wing on a like 1 to 10 scale, I'd probably say a 10, really. You know, the only really small gripes I've had is like with the risers. It kind of seems like there's a lot of stuff going on, but you know, that's nothing. The other thing would be the brake line length. When I first got it, they're actually a little bit long, so it doesn't really engage the brake pool till you get, you know, a little bit lower. So they're kind of set like that at factory. I'm not sure if that's how it is with all wings, but you know, there's nothing wrong with that. You can just kind of tie that and fix that, and there's no problem. So that's pretty much it. I love this wing, and I can't wait to just keep putting more hours on it. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'll probably make another video on it. But overall, with about 1 month worth of flying it, it's definitely an enjoyable wing, and every flight I enjoy it so much. just the capabilities that this wing has is incredible. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you enjoyed the video or if you want to see any kind of content, just let me know. Post in the comments what you want to see. I'm down to do anything you guys want me to see. I'll try to make a video on it, and I'll post it. Let me know what kind of style you like. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.